Mom gives birth alone after getting trapped at home during snowstorm. As the snowstorm bore down on the Midwest this week, Maria Grove found herself going into labor at home and alone. However, Grove was able to successfully give birth despite having to do so all by herself. Her due date was not until the 21st. She wanted to see this blizzard. She didn't want to miss out, Grove told ABC affiliate RTV6. Evangeline Pictures Grove was born on Sunday night after Maria attempted to reach a midwife and her own mother. Unfortunately, no one was able to make it through the snowstorm. Indianapolis International Airport posted a major snowfall of 11.1 inches on Sunday, in time before Grove's water broke at around 2 o'clock in the morning. The second she came out, she was crying. She was pink. She's already nursed several times, Grove told RTV6. I had no tearing. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome. Evangeline Beatrix measured in at 20 inches and 7.5 pounds. And though the birthday situation was unique and challenging, Grove said she had planned to have her baby at home all along. She just never planned on doing it entirely on her own. Once the water broke and I realized this was it, all fear went away. I realized it wasn't going to help me, and that we would be a team and do this together, and we did it, Grove said. Couple says a human tooth was in a bag of peanuts. Odd News was brought you many stories of out of place, weird, and just plain gross items. Snakehead, razor blade, and live maggots found in food. But this strange item, said to have been found in a bag of peanuts, is a first. Michelle Epp claimed that her boyfriend, Graham Calder, discovered a tooth in a sealed bag of Safeway brand Spanish peanuts. According to Michelle, Graham bit down on what he thought was snack food, and then he spit it out and looked at it, and it was a tooth. So he started feeling around to make sure it wasn't his. It wasn't, though it was what appeared to be a human tooth, root and all, that was fractured into 3 parts. The two 18-year-old college students were in Winnipeg, Canada, while on winter break from school and were celebrating a New Year's Eve. Mrs. Epp told the Winnipeg Sun, "It happened about 15 minutes after midnight. My boyfriend looked at me and said, 'That's one way to start things.'" The peanuts were purchased from Safeway, and the packaging indicates that the contents were processed in Canada. A complaint was filed with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, and they will be investigating the object that was found. Safeway spokesperson Patty Kelsey wrote in an email statement, "Safeway is committed to industry-leading food safety standards, and we will cooperate fully with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency in their investigation." The couple is eager to know what the tasting uncovers, and Michelle said, "I personally just want them to look at it and see that this problem gets solved." More Florida teens trying hookah. New York. More and more Florida high school students are trying hookah, water pipes used for smoking tobacco, according to a new study. Hookah smoking is associated with a host of smoking-related health problems, including but not limited to cardiovascular disease, oral disease, cancer, and decreased lung function, said Adrienne J. Hance, a postdoctoral research fellow at the Stanford University School of Medicine in California. Hookah and cigarette smoke contain many of the same toxins, she said. He studies alcohol and drug use patterns and was not involved in the Florida study. The Florida Youth Tobacco Survey, given to a random sample of public high school students in the state, showed about 1 in 6 teenagers reported ever having tried hookah in 2012. That was up from 1 in 9 in 2007. A study of the data, published in Nicotine of Tobacco Research, found the proportion of teens that currently use hookah has held steady at about 8%. However, the research was led by Tracy E. Barnett from the University of Florida in Gainesville. Each year, between 4,000 and 40,000 students filled out surveys. Although girls were less likely than boys to have tried hookah in 2007, they seem to have caught up by 2012. The proportion of boys who ever tried hookah rose from 12% to 70% over the 5-year period. For girls, hookah use increased from 9% to almost 70%. Hispanic students were most likely to have tried smoking hookah, with 22% reporting having used it when surveyed in 2012. That compares to 19% of white students and 5% of black students. 11% of Hispanic students were currently smoking hookah in 2012, also higher than rates among white or black students. Since its use can pose significant health risks, hookah smoking is a trend that is of concern not only in Florida but also in communities across the United States, said Kimber Sterling from the Georgia State University School of Public Health in Atlanta. Sterling is a federally funded tobacco control researcher who studies hookah and cigarillo smoking among youth and young adults. She was not part of the new research. There is some preliminary evidence to suggest that hookah may serve as a gateway for other forms of tobacco use among individuals who would otherwise remain tobacco naive, Hans wrote in an email. But the connection deserves more study. Flavored tobacco fermented in molasses and fruit extracts called menthol is commonly sold in hookah cafes and smoke shops and is far more palatable than other forms of tobacco, she said. That might make hookah appealing to youngster consumers who wouldn't otherwise use tobacco products. We must never forget that tobacco dependence is a disease with a pediatric age of onset. Thomas Essenberg, co-director of the Center of the Study of Tobacco Products at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, said, he did not participate in the new research. With hookah in particular, we know that the smoke contains many of the same poisons that are in cigarette smoke and that young people are unaware of this fact, Eisenberg told Reuters Health in an email. As we see hookah use rise, we need to step up our efforts so that just as many young people avoid cigarettes because they are deadly. We will also avoid hookah use. Most states require that customers in hookah lounges be 18 or older to enter. The most alarming aspect of hookah smoking is that it's commonly perceived as being harmless and even safe, and a far better alternative to cigarette smoking, Hans said. When this positive expectation and cultural norms to go uncorrected, teens will of course be more likely to experiment without first considering the health risks. Man's blood alcohol content too high for police to measure. 28-year-old David B. Carter's accomplishment is one that's truly horrifying. ABC 9 News is reporting that the Iowa man was so intoxicated that when given a breath test, the breathalyzer wasn't able to calculate it. The Iowa City Press Citizen writes that the police responded to a call from a woman who claimed to be Carter's passenger at about 2 a.m. Friday morning. She told them that he had driven off the road and hit a street sign. When the authorities arrived to Carter's home, they found him in his basement, talking to people that were not there. He wasn't able to stand without holding himself up, and if you can believe it, smelled strongly of alcohol. Mr. Carter told police he had drunk 2 Bud Lights. 2. He failed an eye test and was unable to complete any other field sobriety tests. When they administered the breathalyzer test, the Press Citizen writes he provided a weak breath into a preliminary breath test, and the test reading was .467 before the PBT just read high. Geez. I don't think you will be surprised to find out he was arrested for operating a vehicle while intoxicated. This is not the only story of this nature to come out of Iowa this week. Just this past Thursday, 40 years old Chad Harvey blew .535 in the nearby city of North Liberty, which covered that story, pointed readers to breathalyzer information from LifeLock Technologies, a company that designs, engineers, and manufactures precision fuel cell-based breath alcohol testing equipment. On their site, they discuss what happens with BACs at these levels. LifeLock writes that the BAC between .30 and .40 is extremely life-threatening. You have little comprehension of where you are, you may pass out suddenly and be difficult to awaken. Complete unconsciousness. Coma is possible. This is a level of surgical and anesthesia. Death may occur, and that over .45 BAC death will occur in most people. Carter and Harvey must be considered lucky to have survived not only driving when intoxicated, but to have survived the punishment they inflicted on their bodies. Olive oil frees naked man stuck in a washing machine. A naked Australian man who became stuck in a washing machine as part of an ill-planned practical joke was freed from the appliance with the help of an unusual rescue device, olive oil. The 20-year-old man, identified only as Lawrence, told Australia's Fairfax Radio that he was on his way to take a shower on Saturday when he decided to climb into the top loader to have a bit of fun. The fun quickly evaporated. However, when he realized he couldn't budge, he called out to his friend for help, who rang the police. They responded to the scene along with firefighters, paramedics, and the search and rescue squad. He was very well wedged in there, and we were concerned for his health and well-being. Shepparton Police SGT Michelle de Arrogo told the Shepparton News. It was just a game gone wrong. It would be fair to say the gentleman was very embarrassed. Rescuers tried in vain to pull Lawrence from the machine, but when it became clear he was seriously stuck, they grabbed the bottle of his favorite oil, olive oil, to help lubricate his escape. The oil worked, and he popped out. I was quite disappointed they used my good olive oil, Lawrence told Fairfax Radio. As soon as the washing machine went on its side, it was a bit like a birthday.